Hello and welcome to the Going Famous Media podcast. I'm your host, Zachary Mavrakis, and joining me today is Real Betis Féminas striker Tiffany Cameron. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be home. I probably should have been back by now, but I've just been having to deal with some paperwork and stuff. But it's a blessing in disguise because I've had more time with my family and my friends, so that's been nice.
This is from the ground up. We're going to get to know you a little bit better. What inspired you to start playing soccer, and how did you get to where you are today playing for Real Betis and representing Jamaica nationally?
It started when I was playing soccer in elementary school with the boys. So every time during recess, we would all go out. We play different sports and stuff, but soccer really stood out for me. And a lot of the boys were like, "Tiff, you're really good. You should join the league." And I was like, yeah, maybe one day. I was so nonchalant about it. And I also really love street hockey as well too. So both things were my passion. And I remember one day I went to my mom and it was interesting because I asked her if I could play hockey first because that's the sport in Canada.
Absolutely.
And she was like, it's too expensive. And she's like, what about something else? I said, okay, then soccer. So it's ironic that my second choice was soccer, right? And then look at what brought me. I think personally, if I were to choose hockey, I wouldn't have gotten as far as soccer. So I'm really happy that I chose that sport as my second option. And from there, I played for Erin Mills, North Mississauga, and then Team Ontario. And then from Team Ontario, went to Team Canada. And I went to my first World Cup. It was the Under-17 World Cup. That was a really cool experience with Canada. We made it all the way to the quarterfinals. And Germany beat us 3-1. But I got an assist that game, so I was still happy about that at least. And then after that, I went away for college. I went to the Ohio State University for 4 years. I broke the all-time leading goal scorer record there, and I'd actually just recently was inducted into the Hall of Fame. So that's a huge accomplishment.
Congratulations.
That I've been celebrating. Thank you very much. So yeah, it's been a great journey for me. Then I went into the pros, and then I went to two Women's World Cup with Team Jamaica, and I'm blessed for that. And my career just took off, and I'm really happy how things turned out because originally when I was 14, I really wanted to quit because I didn't want to wake up every morning on the weekend so early. Like it was like 5 a.m. all the time. I had to
Right.
wake up, and then we had to travel to the soccer center, which was like 25 minutes away. And I had a conversation with my mom and I said, look, I don't want to get up so early. I want to be like the rest of my friends who get to go to different things, different parties and stuff. And she was like, well, Tiffany, you have so much talent. Why would you want to throw it away now and quit? She's like, and I know one day you want to still play for Canada and you are talented enough to do that. And also one day you're going to have to go to university or college and it's going to be expensive. It will help you out and it will help me out in terms of expenses. You can get a full-time
Right.
scholarship. And as a 14-year-old, I really wanted to say, oh, I wanted to be right, but I knew that she was right. And I'm so happy that I trusted her. That's why I think it's really important to have a strong support system around you because
Right.
there are some players that I've came across that have so much talent but not the right support. So I was happy that my mom was able to show me the way in a sense and tell me like, look, don't give up on this. You can go far with it. So yeah, I'm happy I listened to her because look at me now. I'm playing for Real
Absolutely.
Betis. This was definitely one of my dreams to go play in Spain one day. And I played in a bunch of different countries in the top leagues of like America, Norway, Sweden, Germany, in Israel. So I've had my fair share. Oh, and also Hungary. I've had my fair share of traveling, and that has been really great because it has shaped who I am, and I'm able to deal with multiple people with multiple different personalities. I'm able to adjust and shine my light through everywhere I go. So that's super important for me. And my agent, I've had the same agent for about what, maybe 8 years now, and I always talk about my goals and my aspirations with him, and he's been a great help. His name's Brian Elliott, and he's just been awesome. So, he knew what I wanted and he found a way to make it happen. And I think we're a great team. And he's been there for me, even like mentally and emotionally. He knows my life story, the ups and the downs, and he
Yeah.
understands me. I think that's super important to work with a person that understands your vision and knows how to talk to you. He knows when to say, Tiffany, you're being dramatic. Okay, Tiffany, yeah, this was wrong on this person or whatever. We're gonna handle it a different way. So he's been great with me. So I'm really happy about that.
That's amazing. And you mentioned U17 with Canadian women's national team, and you're now playing for the Jamaican national team. Can you tell us what it means to represent both nations and why you ultimately chose Jamaica?
Yeah, it's a blessing. I mean, I was born in Canada. Both my parents were born in Jamaica and they moved to Canada for a living. And I was with the Canadian national team for all of my youth years and some of my adult years. And there was a point in time where the our current Jamaican national team coach, his name is Hubert Busby, he reached out to me. I think it was 2014 or so, and he said, we're going to play against Canada in qualifiers. We'd love to have you. What if we were able to make it to a World Cup? We'd love to have you
Right.
part of our team. But at the same time, he said that there's a lot of things that Jamaica still has to improve on in turn. He's like, we're coming up for a plan to give our players contracts, and he's like, but this is going to take some time. It's not happening right now, but this is,
Right.
he shared with me his vision. And I was like, I love that. We should keep in contact, but I'm not ready yet to make the move to Jamaica. I was still young. I was still playing in Germany. I think at the time I was playing for Borussia Mönchengladbach, I believe, or Hoffenheim. I think it was Hoffenheim actually. And I told him, we'll keep in contact. I still want to play for Canada, and see how it goes. I'm still young. I'm still part of the pool of players, but eventually I wasn't getting frequent call ups for Canada. Like it'd be randomly here and there. And I thought to myself, I'm like, do I want to be a player just in the pool of players, or do I want to be a part of a national team that needs me to be more of an impact and who will call me into camp, who is like, okay, this player is a core player, or we feel like this player is going to be a core player in the near future. So it was one of those things when Jamaica qualified for the World Cup for the first time in history. Coach Busby reached back out to me literally 2 hours after they qualified and was like, remember our conversation that we had back in 2014, 2015. I really hope you can reconsider because, it's the first time in history Jamaica's going to the World Cup. And I really feel like you can be a big part of this squad and help the team. And I was like, wow, I guess this is the time, you know? So
Right.
I'm really happy that I chose to take that leap of faith because, you know, guaranteed. I could have tried out for Team Jamaica and maybe I wouldn't have made the World Cup team. I don't know, but I was like, this is the time now to, go for it. And I'm so glad I did. I knew once I was gonna apply for my national team the residency and everything like that, the national residency. I knew that, and the FIFA thing as well too. I knew that once I made the switch, I could never go back, and I even had to write
Right.
to FIFA why I want to play for Jamaica and that I'm aware and sign that I'm aware that I cannot come back and play for Team Canada. So it was like a big moment, and it took a while for me to actually get cleared before the World Cup happened. So yeah, I'm happy about my decision. I think it opened up a lot of doors for me, and I've been able to impact the Jamaican community in very positive ways. So I'm glad about that.
Absolutely. So, what is your most memorable moment or match that has been super significant in your career so far?
I would have to say the recent World Cup when a lot of people thought that we weren't going to make it past the group stages because we had
Right.
France, we had Brazil, and we had Panama in our group. And France and Brazil, they're known for always being in the top 10 in the world. Like they're solid countries. So we knew it was going to be very difficult when we got there. So I think when we were able to tie Brazil and we made it to the round of 16, that game was the most powerful game, I think, for me in my entire career because I really, really wanted to start that game, but I knew that the coach had a different plan. And he knew, he's like, we need Tiffany to come on in during the halftime. And it's funny because on the bench I was just like screaming. I'm like, because I knew I was like, he's gonna call me. I'm like, I'm ready, I'm ready.
Right,
So
right.
then when I came out just before halftime, I was just like standing there kind of like pacing, and one of my friends, she called it out and she's like, it looked like you're waiting for the elevator and it's taking forever. I was laughing. I was laughing so hard. So,
Uh,
anyways, yeah, I got in the game, made a great impact, offensively and defensively. I played wing. Yeah, I think it was wide midfield for a little bit. Then I came back as a right defender for a little bit. And that's another thing. I really pride myself on being versatile. Because it would have been harder to make the team if I could only play one position. So the coach knows that he can play me as a right back, he can play me as a right winger, anywhere on the offensive end as well too. I'll make a difference. So I would say when we made history for the first time and made it to the round of 16, that was really powerful.
Absolutely. And what advice would you give young female athletes aspiring to pursue professional soccer careers, especially those ones that are looking to make those memorable moments and representing their countries?
I would say to believe in themselves. That it starts from there, and knowing that you could have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have work ethic, then it's going to be a lot harder to get anywhere. So just believing in your path, believing in yourself, surrounding yourself around the right people to uplift you. I think that's super important, and just make sure that you don't to the noise around you, because sometimes there are some people on this earth that are here as distractions and they want to pull you away from being great. And it's important to keep your eyes on the goal and know exactly what you want to achieve and surround yourself around people who will help you achieve those goals. So I would say just make sure you stay focused and you believe in yourself and you have a good support system around you. And also you have to do extra. You someone to get far in anywhere in life, you have to do the work, and you have to when people
Absolutely.
aren't looking, that's when it matters the most. So those things I would say.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, a lot of noise in the background, and social media plays an integral role now when it comes to appearance, fandom, as well as
Yeah.
interacting with your supporters, right? And you have
Mm-hmm.
gone through something recently that a lot of people do fear. Could you
Mm-hmm.
please elaborate and tell us what happened to you and what have you personally learned from this experience with your social media pages?
Yeah, so it was the night before I traveled back to Canada. I got hacked, like my emails, my social media platforms. So my X account, my Instagram, my Facebook. The good thing that I like about Facebook was that they realized what was going on and they suspended the account temporarily. And
Okay.
I saw through my app that they're like, I think you've been hacked. We're going to temporarily suspend your account and do these things to regain access to your page. So I was like, thank goodness I was able to do that at least. Um, and change my password and all and everything and stuff. My Facebook is now verified too. I think that's super important as well
Amazing.
as an athlete to have that just because of these things happen. And then my Instagram, I did get a notification in my emails before my email got hacked, and it did say to restore your Instagram, click this. But then I was nervous because I was like, sometimes when it says that, it leads you to an even bigger, like a virus or whatever case. So I
Right.
was like panicking and I didn't do it fast enough. And I think within minutes, I got bumped out of my email. So then they had control over my email, but it was my oldest email.
Right.
They had control over that. So I was like, well, that sucks. I guess the Instagram thing, I'm just gonna have to find a way later down the road to try and get it back. So that was my Tiffany underscore Cameron 11 Instagram, which I had for about I think 13 years or so, and I built up around 5,500 followers.
Right.
So it sucked because I had all my memories and stuff on there. But I was still able to keep some of those memories because I did link my Facebook with my Instagram. So there's a lot of posts that I still have saved that I could repost on my new page, which I'm happy about. But yeah, the Instagram war was crazy. Like I several times. I even tried the video authentication thing, but when I requested it, it sent a code to the hacker because the hacker switched my email to their own email and they changed the path. So I was like, there's no way I'm getting
Yes.
back into my account unless a human being from Meta gets involved and helps me do that. And that just never happened. I was always speaking to bots, really. So I just what I try to do is I try to inform as many people as possible about what happened. I created a new account on Instagram. It's Tiffany D Cameron underscore. And I put my full name as well too. So if people type it in, they'll be able to see me and know that it's me. And I also uploaded a video on Instagram to make people aware of what happened, so they know that this new account that has been opened is under me because my face is there and I'm explaining the situation. When I was on a national television in Jamaica and a couple of different platforms, there was a gentleman who wrote an article about what happened, and it just got around that what happened, but not everyone knows still. Like I've only been able to gain back 500 and something followers, and then there's still 5,000 that might not have
Right.
any idea, right? So I have to be patient. I think I really truly believe that I'm going to have a bigger following than I did my other page, but I had to learn to let go, and know that everyone knows me for who I am. Everyone knows my achievements and everything like that. So if it's wiped away, then it's wiped away. I got to start from scratch. And, it's unfortunate because the hacker was trying to scam my followers and pretending to be me and posting all this foolishness about ODAX trading and, I just won $15,000,
Right.
$20,000. It was so obvious it wasn't me as well, too, because I don't do that.
Right.
So, but anyways, their last post, it really, really made me annoyed because it was like I was skeptical at first about trading. Like I would never trade anyways. I've never been into that, and I will never get into
Right.
that. And I went straight to the police station. I said, "Oh no, 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 no! I've had enough of this." Because it was right after I met a superstar in Jamaica. His name's Ding Dong, and I was posting on my social media page and stuff. So maybe the hacker saw that. I was like, "This is a great time to take more advantage of people. I mean,
Right.
of her and the people, just because she's in the spotlight right now." And so I didn't like that, and I went to the police station, reported them. I had to write down a whole thing, and I've
Oh
done this
wow.
before, anyways. But one of my fans got scammed by that page and told me. So
Oh no.
the police told me that they can't do anything until money is taken. So I said, okay, well, this is a good opportunity for me to let the police know that someone got scammed from this page. And
Right.
at this point, I'd rather it get shut down than it still be up. So I had to write why I'm important and why this needs to go away, everything. And you know what? Good, because maybe about 5 days after I put in the report, they shut down the entire page. So when
Good.
you go to type in the my former page, it doesn't exist. So,
Right.
and I also had to prove on my Instagram that I'm me as well too. So I had to go through that as well because Instagram notified me that there was a similar page who has breached the rules.
Right.
So that I needed to prove that I was me under my account. I was laughing. I'm like, well, pretty obvious on my Instagram,
Right.
but
You
it
have to
goes to
prove your
show I was talking
innocence.
to a bot.
Yeah, exactly. Oh gosh.
Yeah. So it was very uncomfortable. It was annoying because I felt helpless. I mean, the good thing is that I was able to get my emails recovered,
Right.
after a week they got hacked. So that was good. I mean, I'm using other emails now just to be on the safe side. But yeah, it's just it was a lesson learned that, the more successful I get, the more people are gonna try and take advantage of me and distract me from my mission. So I have to constantly work now to protect my brand. So anything that I could do to make that happen is what I'm doing now. I have my LinkedIn page verified now as well too, because that's business.
Right.
So I'm just hoping that nobody reached out to my account with an opportunity, because there's been times where many times I've been contacted through my Instagram, and people have requested interviews. People have requested um, for me to work with them with something. So I'm just hoping during that time period that didn't happen, but maybe there'll be other blessings later down the road. So it is what it is.
Made your debut in EAFC 24 Ultimate Team. Your card is on the screen for the viewers at home to see, but today we're going to have you create your FIFA FC 25 card, and it comes out this month. For each statistic, you're going to give me a ranking from 1 to 99. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. So for pace, FIFA gave you a 77. Now, this is your speed, this is your acceleration. How do you think this is fair, and how fast do you think you really are?
I think I would give myself an 82 around there. Yes, I'm an older player and stuff. Maybe I was faster before. Maybe in my young days, I probably would have given myself like a 90 or so because I was super fast back then. But I'm just being practical. I would give myself an 82.
Amazing. Okay. And now you're a striker, so you gotta really shoot the ball. Your goal is to score the goals, right?
Yes,
And they've given you a 63, which I think is a little bit low, especially for the
very
position that
low.
you play in. So what would you give yourself?
I would give myself a 75.
75, reasonable.
Yes.
And in the first segment, you mentioned how you would play wing back or you would play on the wing sometimes, being as a super sub. You have 61 passing. Now, on the winger, you need to know how to cross, you need the accuracy
Yeah.
to give the ball into the striker. What would you give yourself in that statistic?
I would give myself a 71.
71. Okay, great. And dribbling, you dribble the ball, you have to weave through all the defenders to get to the
Mm,
goal. Now, they've
yeah.
given you a 71. What do you
Mm.
think about that? And what would you give yourself?
I give myself about a 76 or so.
Awesome. And now defending, you mentioned that you played
Ah,
wingback, you would get subbed on. For your card, actually, it's a pretty high defensive stat for a striker. It's at
mm,
67. Do you agree
mm.
with this? Do you think it should be higher, lower?
I'd say it should be a little bit higher. I would give myself now that I have more knowledge defending like as a right back or a right midfielder, I would give myself probably a 70 or 71.
And during practice, do you do defensive drills at all with
Yeah,
club or
yeah, we
country?
do. And it also depends on what position I'm playing. Because for Betis,
Right.
I've played as a right winger, like right midfielder, and also as a striker. But for the majority of the season, I've been playing as a striker though. So, and I'm pretty sure that's where I'll be playing this season. I mean, there is a possibility I could be back on the wing. I love both positions, so it just depends on the team we're playing against, and what we need. So, yeah,
Amazing. And physicality. Now, this plays a vital role as a striker. You have all the defenders swarming into you as soon as you touch the ball.
yeah,
They've given you a 65 this year. What would you give yourself?
that's super low. I think one of my biggest strengths this year was my ability to hold up the ball for our team, and it made a world of a difference.
Right.
So I would say for me, I would give myself a 76 or 76 to 78 for that. And
Amazing.
I'm being very honest, just because some of the other player ratings as well, and I have to be realistic with myself. Like, of course, maybe I would want to give myself 80 some or whatever, but if like Sam Kerr has maybe a rating of 80 something. I know she has a little bit higher. Like I'm not going to do that because Sam Kerr
Right.
is a top player. Yes, I'm a quality player. I'm top two, but Sam Kerr is better than me. So I have to be realistic.
No, I think you're up there. You're undershooting yourself there. And now overall wise, with all those statistics that you've given us today, they've given you a 68 and you're a silver card. Now this is pretty decent for your debut in the game. Now, what would you give yourself overall?
Overall, I would say got myself up to like a 74 or so in the game. I think that's realistic. 73 or 74.
The last segment, rapid round. I'll ask you 10 questions and it'll be either a this or a that. You'll need to choose
Okay,
one answer within a few seconds. Are you ready, Tiffany?
I'm always ready.
I know you are. Let's get into it. Ronaldinho or Robinho?
Ronaldinho,
Miami Heat or the Boston Celtics?
Miami Heat,
World Cup or Olympic gold?
Olympic gold,
Singing or dancing?
sing,
Scoring for Real Betis or scoring for Jamaica?
scoring for Jamaica. What?
Nike or Adidas?
He does.
You're repping the brand.
Yeah,
A penalty goal or a free kick goal?
penalty kick.
Now, wearing the number 15 or wearing the number 24? Shooting with your left foot or shooting with your right foot?
Shooting with my right foot.
And now, last, weather in Spain or weather in Jamaica?
Weather in Jamaica.
This has been the Going Famous Media podcast with Tiffany Cameron. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your time very much.
Thank you for having me. Definitely we have to catch up again, I guess,
Absolutely.
after my season, and we'll see if the stats have improved or not, you know? But yes,
You're
I
more than
appreciate you.
welcome. Thank you. Thank you.